Hello YouTube, welcome back to my channel you guys. In today's video we're going to be talking about the top 5 biggest pros of going to college. If you guys haven't seen my last video of the top 5 biggest cons of going to college, be sure to check it out. It's going to be on that banner right over there. Also be sure to stick till the end because number 5 is going to be the biggest pro of going to college. Now before we get into this video, I'd really appreciate if you guys join to drop the like. Also if you haven't subscribed, please do so since around 98% of my viewers aren't subscribed. In addition to that, we're also on the road to 600 subscribers since we recently hit 500 subscribers. Like I said, I really appreciate that. And in addition to that, I also respond to all my comments. So feel free to comment. Go ahead. I respond to all my comments. So with that being said, let's go ahead and jump into this video. All right, so pro number 1 of going to college is it offers a structure. So basically, college gives you a good roadmap into leveling up. So when you start as a freshman, there's a bunch of reasons of leveling up, right? So you start off as a freshman, you have freshman, sophomore, junior, and senior. You have the classes as also you can level up in your classes. You start off with introduction classes and you level your way up. The reason why that's a pro is because once you get out in the real world, there isn't really necessarily a progress. I know in the corporate world, there is levels. I know for, engineers and stuff, there's like L3 all the way up to L7. But in college, it's really nice because there's a set in stone structure, and each of your assignments, each of your projects, each of the things that you have to do for your classes are really structured. It gives you a good roadmap in order to make sure that you know what you're doing, and it almost is like a good thing. Basically, like checking off each of the goals is like a progress, right? And that's already built into college, so that's a pro right there. Pro number 1 is the structure. All right, so the second pro of going to college is it gives you really good professional development. Now, obviously going in as a freshman, you're coming out of high school, so there is kind of an emphasis on professional development, but not as much as when you get to college. So college, there's a lot of professionals you're surrounded by. In addition to that, if you go to career fairs, you get introduced to a bunch of, career professionals such as HR departments, hiring managers, engineers, not just that, but also your peers. A lot of them are also doing internships, working in a professional setting. So just being around those types of people, in addition to that, while you're reaching out to these professionals, you're gonna understand how professionals work in the corporate world, or even entrepreneurs. There's a bunch of entrepreneurship classes that you can take. I myself took an entrepreneurship class, and just being around even your teachers, they teach you a bunch of things about professional development, how to present, how to communicate, stuff like that. So pro number 2 of going to college is professional development. All right, so pro number 3 of going to college is you get to have a lot of fun. Now, obviously, I'm pretty sure Alex Hermosi said this. I was watching one of his videos, and he said, I don't know the video off the top of my head, but he's like, if you go to, Las Vegas, you can have way more fun compared to going to college. Well, I'd argue that that's true, but it depends on what type of fun you're looking for. In Las Vegas, some people might find, partying and, doing drugs and all of that. They might find that fun, but not everyone really finds that fun. And to me personally, fun to me is doing activities that kind of better me. I think bettering myself is more fun than straight up partying. Partying is fun, don't get me wrong, I like to party sometimes, but I think that college gives you the fun but also gives you that benefit of bettering yourself at the same time. Some examples can be like, for example, clubs. I went to some painting nights at my university. Obviously there's game night. You get to play, all types of games like, Uno, checkers, all these types of games that you can play at college. In addition to that, there's a bunch of other events, depending on your culture and stuff. I was in the African American Society Club, in addition to that with the National Society of Black Engineers. So there's a bunch of events for that. I went to, I think it was Atlanta. They did an engineering event over there as well. So I went to those events and it was super fun. Went with a group of engineers and had a blast. And it was a good time. And also, guess what? It was completely free because my college covered it. So pro number 3 of going to college is you get to have fun. Pro number 4 of going to college is there's infinite amount of resources. So I kind of listed off that in pro number 3 about all the resources, but didn't really go into too much detail. But yeah, there's so much resources. You got hiring managers you can reach out to. You got different types of clubs. Like I said, you can even go to a dance club if you wanted to. You can go to a public speaking club if you wanted to. You can go to a business club if you wanted to. There is just an infinite amount of resources in college. Literally anything you want to do, I promise you there's a club out there, or there's a group of people that are, doing that same goal, same opportunity, same mindset as what you want to pursue. So there's just an infinite amount of resources in college. And the reason why people might say, okay, you can do that outside of college. Why do you have to do it in college? To me, it's just not the same, because when you're on the real world, it's like people are a lot older or they're on different levels. And I noticed in college, everyone's like about close to the same age, 18 to around maybe like 25, 26. When people are your age, you're kind of learning the same things at the same time, which makes it even more fun and just more enjoyable. Because I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I don't know if you ever, let's say for example, if I played some chess with a grandmaster or against a grandmaster, I wouldn't really find it fun, and neither would the grandmaster, because more than likely, I mean, 100% chance you're just gonna lose, and they're not even gonna really be trying. But if you're around people with the same skill set, the same age, it just makes the opportunities and whatever activity you're doing a lot more fun. Number 5, the biggest pro of going to college is higher lifetime earnings. Now, there's a bunch of videos that I did there in the past. If you guys want to go check them out, I'd really appreciate it. But overall, college has higher lifetime earnings. College graduates have higher lifetime earnings than people who did not go to college. And that necessarily isn't just because of the degree. While the degree does open doors, I personally believe the reason why people have higher career earnings is just because of the intangibles that were taught in college. Like I said, college, there's just so much opportunities, resources, different individuals you can network with, and there's just so much going on. So, and it also teaches you a lot, well, being exposed to these different types of activities, people, and so forth, that are really, I think it really just changes your entire mindset of how you go about things. And that's what I really believe increases your lifetime earnings. But also, I mean, obviously the degree and what you go for does play a factor, so that's just another thing. But in my personal opinion, I just think overall, just what you learn in college, not only just educational, but also the intangibles, they also play a factor in increasing your lifetime earnings. All right, guys, that's gonna wrap up the video for today. I really appreciate it if you got this far into this video. Also, if you're new to this channel, be sure to subscribe. We're on the road to 600 subscribers. It would really mean a lot to me. If you like this video, if this video taught you anything new, go ahead and drop a like. It would mean a lot. In addition to that, I respond to all my comments, so feel free to comment. And until next time.